In this DIY, I'm going to show you how to lay a concrete slab. Now I'm going to be doing a 1 meter by 1 meter square concrete slab. Here are some of the tools that you need, and everything that's here is suitable for any size slab. Obviously you just have to adjust the quantities. Here are some of the tools that you're going to need. I'm going to make a wooden framework to mark out exactly where I want my concrete slab and hold it all together. I'm going to make use of some paint to mark out the area so I can excavate the ground accordingly. I'm going to put down some crushed stone beforehand to act as drainage. I'm then going to put down a thin layer of concrete mix, followed by a steel reinforcement bars on top, and then followed by another layer of concrete mix on top. I'm going to make use of a hammer, pegs, and a spirit level just to make sure I've got everything perfectly level. And I'm going to finish it off with a wooden float to give me that smooth finish. Once you've cleaned the area out, it's now time to actually make that square box frame. I've gone with a 1 meter by 1 meter. I'm going to make the box frame, put it down, mark around the edges, and then I'm going to excavate that ground out and then put my box frame inside. That's my box frame done. I've got a 1 meter by 1 meter. It's a square concrete slab. I'm going to put that down. This is where I want it. I'm now going to make use of some spray paint all the way around the outside edges. Then I can mark exactly where I need to dig out, excavate that soil, take it out, make it level, put my frame back in, and I'm going to put the frame back in probably about halfway so it still sticks out of the ground as well. I've got my marked out line. I know exactly where to dig. I'm going to dig down around about 40 to 50 mils so that my slab is sticking out of the ground about 50 mils and below the ground 40 or 50 mils as well. I've dug my hole. I'm going to put the box frame in now. Just going to line that up into position. Now it's important to make sure your box frame is square. The easy way to do that is just to measure from diagonal to diagonal and make sure you have the same measurement. If not, you can just adjust it slightly to make sure that they are the same. Once that's in position, I'm then going to put some pegs in on the side, and then I'm going to level this box frame to make sure that I have got it exactly level. You'll see by my box frame I've used a 94mm timber, and that's going to be the depth of my slab. I'm going to bring it all the way up to the top edge. Obviously, depending on the size of your slab, you are going to adjust the thickness of your slab, also depending on its usage. Now you can see that my level is slightly off, so I can just lift my box frame up, and you can see it's moving up against that stake. And when I've got it into position, I'm just going to fasten that screw all the way in, and that'll hold that box frame level. I'm going to do that on all the sides. As you can see, I've got a steel lattice inside here. I've made it out of standard mild steel rebar, and I've bound it together with some binding wire. The reason why I've got it in here is it acts as a reinforcement within the concrete to stop that concrete slab from cracking. But it's not going to go in at the bottom. Remember, I'm going to put the crushed stone in first, pack it down, then I'm going to put in one layer of concrete, and then I'll put the steel reinforcing on top with concrete on top. So the steel reinforcing will actually sit in the middle of the concrete. I've mixed up my concrete slurry mix. It's quite wet to make sure it fills up all the cavities in my box frame. Let's get started. Remember, when you're laying your slab, don't forget to stop halfway to make sure that you actually put in your reinforcing bars. Line them up into position and give them a good shake or a tap with a spade just to make sure they bed themselves neatly into the concrete and any cavities or voids are moved out the way. Once you've got your rebar securely in place, it's now time to put some more concrete over the top and then pack it down firmly. Once you've got your box frame filled in with your concrete mix, take a straight edge across the top from edge to edge and just shake it along to make sure you're getting a level surface and you're filling in all those cavities and those voids. As you're leveling the concrete slab, it's a good idea just to tap the sides of the box using a hammer. That way it just releases any trapped air bubbles along the side. It allows them to come to the top whilst the concrete fills in the void. The concrete slab is laid. I can wait 48 hours before I move the wooden framework, but I need to wait a full 2 weeks for that concrete to cure before I put any load onto the slab. Whilst the concrete slab is curing, to protect it from any rain damage, you can cover it with a plastic sheet. This also helps retain the moisture and stops that concrete from cracking. My concrete slab is finally cured. It's sat for 2 weeks. Now I left it for the full 2 weeks with the framework on the side, just so that I don't end up damaging those edges. All I have to do now is remove the framework. I'm going to unscrew the pegs and then break the box frame apart, and that should hopefully expose my concrete slab. My concrete slab is now complete. I'm just going to backfill with some loose soil up against the edge of the concrete. If you enjoyed this clip and found it useful, subscribe to our YouTube channel for similar videos. Remember, everything you need is available at your local builder's outlet.